Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles.
Hey, yo, I see you, man.
Brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
Hey, yo, Shawn Porter, hold tight. We coming out there.
Live from Los Angeles.
Hey, yo, put your headphones on, man.
It's time for the main event of the
Here it
evening.
is. I be the one with the rollie on. Tom Ford with it. Praise the Lord for the team.
What's up, fellas?
Yo.
Another day, man. We back.
Yes, sir. Do y'all look forward to Sundays?
It depends on how I'm feeling. Today, I'm not feeling it, but we're going to knock this out.
It depends
And the Browns don't play today either, so there wasn't a whole lot to look forward to other than chatting a little boxing with my guys.
Right.
Yeah, that I mean, people always say, what you doing today? Hey, man, podcast. That's about it.
That's your Sundays.
Yeah, I don't really want to go to nowhere. Went out to breakfast, but, kept it low key.
I didn't do church this morning. I should have, but I did not.
Yeah, I woke up to church being played real loud in my house.
Is she
that.
watching Remnant?
No, she's found something else she likes, but I
okay.
thought my mama was here or something. Like, my mama downstairs cleaning? The church being played real loud in my house.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, question. We was talking about this last night. Hey, you guys ever play basketball in high school? Maybe you, Sean?
I did a little bit. What about you, Carson?
Like, just playing pickup basketball? I didn't play for
No,
school.
like try out for the team.
on
It's
the
cool.
team.
Nah. I just play pickup ball.
I played freshman and sophomore year.
One year, I tried out. I made the team, but it was another kid trying out with us, and he didn't make the team. I was thinking about it. He flipped out on the coach because he came in. He wanted to be a Jason Williams. So he had like 8 assists. Some steals, didn't make the team. He's like, I have buckets I could have made, but instead I wanted to pass the ball, and I didn't make this team. Then he got nervous to say, Anthony didn't do nothing. Anthony didn't do
Damn.
nothing. Hey, that's what you get.
Hey, you know what? Hey, first of all, everybody, welcome to the Porterweight podcast. And we're going to get back to this because we got to get to this week. But Carson.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I got to tell a quick story, and I got to also shout out David Lane, my boy Dave. Freshman year, I made the basketball team, and he did not.
That's crazy. Knowing the skill level of you two, that's
Hey, David
crazy.
Lane is one of the top. I've never really seen him play. I've seen him online at play. One of the top 5 personal people I know who play basketball.
Yeah.
And I know people in the league.
Yeah.
That kid can ball.
Yeah.
So, and Sean's not in my top 5. Not in my top 10. Nowhere close.
No, keep going. I'm in the top 15. I got it.
You're a guy he knows that has played basketball.
Right.
That's pretty much your qualification.
Yeah.
Man, listen, and I knew what it revolved around. I'm not gonna say it on this, but I remember when we tried out and everything, it was a legit tryout, and either you made or you did not. And I mean, y'all know how it is with football. It's like if you want to be on the team, you're on the team.
Yeah.
With basketball, like you don't have enough bench for that, so you got to try out or whatever. And I remember everybody that I had known that had tried out, I was basically counting them like, all right, you gonna make it, you gonna make it, you gonna make it, you gonna make it. And I felt like I was like on the brink of not being on the team.
Sean, that was me.
He was on the brink. Yeah. I was on the brink.
Yeah, I'm like, he definitely gonna make it.
Of not making the team. And lo and behold, I made the team, and David Lane did not. And I remember I made an excuse for him. I was like, I only made the team because I started in varsity for football. So, that's the only reason why I made the team and you didn't. I was legit trying to come up with reasons he didn't. But, I
That
knew
coach was probably sitting there afterwards like, what the hell did I do?
Dave had a brother who was, I believe, a senior when we were freshmen. So, and Dave, Dave been playing ball his whole life. So the high school knew about him. Everybody knew what the deal was with Dave. I might as well go ahead and say it. His grades was the issue when he was a freshman. So the
lesson here: do well in school, kids.
Exactly, because the coach did not put him on the team, understanding that if I don't let somebody else get on the team and then his grades aren't right, then I'm missing out. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm pretty sure I made the team because of his grades. I did not make the team because my hustle game was right, my defense was right. Sure enough, was not my offensive game, and even at that point in time, I really didn't even understand the X's and O's of basketball. You know what I mean? So,
did you bring something to the team?
That's what I brought to the team. I was an athlete, and you couldn't get past me on the court. My defense, believe it or not, Carson, back in the day, my defense was tight. Like now, it's nothing. Like it's shit now. But back in the day, like you couldn't get by me. And I think that was really the only thing I had to bring to the team was just a good defense.
Hey,
This
you
is
need
your
energy,
freshman
guy.
year?
Say again?
This is your
I said,
freshman year?
You need energy, guy.
I was
though.
a freshman and a sophomore when I played ball. I was that guy. Like I would press you at full court. I was the only play. Like wasn't no full court press. it was Shawn Porter at full court press, and then eventually, if you got past me, you know what I mean, you set up your offense and worked your way through. But
my freshman year, we went 25-2.
my freshman year,
bad.
we were pretty good. My freshman year.
Hey, we went on to have the same coach all the way to our senior year. But I remember one game my freshman year, I was just like an enforcer. All I would do is I'll do dirty work. I'm Dennis Rodman, basically.
Uh-huh.
You got Kendrick
So one
Perkins
game I
vibe,
had,
too.
yeah. I'm just 6'4", but doing best I can against 6'8" dudes. I had a cousin crosstown rivalry. He's 6'8", just giving it to me.
Dang.
But when you get in the post, that was my game. I got power. But one game, I had 5 points at halftime, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Coach flipped out. How the sorriest player on our team is out here putting up numbers? The sorriest player. I said, hold on, bro. Hold on. Like,
Don't use my success as an example.
No.
He was ready to hang his jersey to the rafters and then got torn
He
down.
apologized after the game, but I'm like, whatever, man. It is what it is.
That's crazy. And another
He's like,
crazy story.
All he got is hustle. He would just give you everything he got.
That's all I was on the court too. But another crazy story is my sophomore year. All of the freshmen that we had some really good freshmen that played when we moved at sophomore year. All those guys moved up to varsity, and so we had like some weak sophomore players on the JV squad. The JV was crap. We were pulling up freshmen to come play with us on the JV, but we went like, I think the whole season we might have went like 2-20 or something like that. Something crazy. But we lost like 10 games in a row. And I remember like after every game, slowly after you start losing, people started crying. Remember this one dude on the team, he had a team meeting. He said, hey, we need to have a team meeting. Let's try to figure this out. So we all get together. We in the locker room, like, what do we need to do to win?
A team meeting at sophomores.
Sophomores, right. Dude said, hey, and he was like, hey, he said, how about we start praying before the games? I was like, all right, yeah, let's pray. And then I led the prayer like every single game before we went out. We still was losing, but we stuck with our prayers till we won a couple games. But we was trying everything to squeeze out some victories when I was a sophomore.
No good.
That's crazy. Carson, what you want to play football? That's it?
Yep.
What about soccer?
Nah, I'm
He didn't
decent
care
now.
nothing
Like
about
pickup.
soccer.
Yeah, I'm decent now playing pickup, but I wasn't built for that. That's a lot of running.
Okay. So what's going on in the boxing world these days, Shawn Porter? I'm sitting here looking for you on Thursday. I'm like, I gotta watch Shawn.
There's some more personal business we need to attend to first.
Oh, us personally?
Yeah, the three of us.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
It's for our audience.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I think if we don't address it, then it might not ever get addressed.
No, I know what it is.
Right, Domino?
Yeah, the second he said it was personal, I had a hunch this is where it was going.
Man, I took some time, man. I wrote down a whole bunch. At least let me get them off. I wrote down a whole bunch of. I wrote down a whole bunch of nicknames, AKA ring names, AKAs for Ant right there. Carson, I think you good. You good with C-Merc, right?
Works for me.
I'm good with Ant.
Or Panda. That Panda's popped up in the comments. I'm a fan of that.
I do like Panda. Panda.
I'm good with Ant.
I know you good with Ant. Hey, but what about so here's the thing. You don't want people to know what you do for a living?
No, don't bring no.
No, just leave that out. Leave that shit out.
Shut the hell up. He over here dying. Okay, all right, cool. Okay.
What you got?
Well, all right, cool. Go on to the next one.
So anybody that no, that wasn't the name, but no. Oh no, that wasn't the name. But for those who don't know, and basically your life outside of Saturday and Sunday is work, and you probably working on Saturdays. And whenever
I will
you
be
get
working
around,
today, but I ain't want to.
whenever you get around to my my house, then you'll be working on Sundays too. So, but you're a working machine. You know what I mean? So
this is true.
I wrote down a couple names. I just thought we gonna. What about overtime?
I like that.
We kicked that one in the group, and when Joe mentioned it in the group, I was like, dang, I just wrote that down. You like overtime?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I think Showtime, overtime, and dinner time was a hot.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Should we stay there? I mean, I can't call you dinner
I'm
time.
big body.
I can't call you dinner time.
Well, don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, he
Did
did.
he just flex on him?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
It
did.
was a subtle flex. It wasn't a lot of definition.
Oh yeah. All right.
Should we
What's
stop
next?
it? I got some grind. AD for all day.
Yeah.
AD's too much. There's
Yeah, AD's too much. You should have made something with AB.
What about work?
I feel like you're just throwing out random words.
Yeah, I feel like you're just making up stuff now.
100 hours.
Yeah, I'm probably doing 100 hours a week. Okay.
Grind.
Yeah.
You said
Job.
already?
Did I
Yeah,
say
I feel like you
grind?
said
Now you're literally just throwing out words associated with
Job. Oh yeah, that's all I
Working.
did.
Yeah,
I
we're
put-
working.
employment.
Yeah, I pulled out a whole bunch of synonyms for work.
Hey, you know what? It's funny that now that's where you at with my nicknames. When we first met, you remember what you used to call me?
Hell no.
Tommy.
Oh,
Oh,
that is complete switch though. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it's cool. Complete switch.
Cause you was never around. I'm like, where this dude at? And he talking about I'm at work. I'm like, nah. But it's funny because don't nobody work that much. He ain't got no job.
Spoiler alert.
Well, in
It does
real
work
life,
that
I
much.
was trying to get my stuff going. Then I was able to get to the point where I could relax and do more stuff.
So
Yeah, you know.
you get to
You
relax.
know, when I lock in, I lock in.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we over that?
Yeah, we over it. We over
All right,
it.
and it is. All right, cool. Yeah, but I appreciate it. You know, thank you.
Or overtime. Could be
Yeah,
overtime.
you know. Yeah. All
Domino.
right, what happened to you on
I
Thursday?
feel like Domino just staying with you though.
Yeah, my boy, some Dominique, I think that's his name. He won't let it go.
I work
let
this
it go.
Thursday. This Thursday coming.
Oh, okay. Oh, you had
Charles
Thursday
Conwell,
off.
Cleveland's own.
Yes, sir. I'm hyped to see him. I haven't seen him since before he turned pro, since before the Olympic Games. So we haven't seen it. No, actually, no. I did actually. I got some rounds in him with
And
him.
he worked with you before the Broner fight?
No.
He was just around, I think.
He was just around. But
Yeah.
I got some work with him when I went home to Cleveland. This was a couple years ago now. And I think he might have been just maybe 1 or 2-0 at that point in time. But
Okay.
yeah, he'll be on NBC next week, Charles Conwell. And I'm excited for that. Ring City.
What's the weight
boxing.
division?
He's fighting at 160.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fighting at 160.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Let's see.
You know what? I'm wrong. He's fighting at 154. Junior
All right.
weight. Yeah, he's
No,
fighting junior.
you're off one weight division. No big
Keep
deal.
people guessing.
Hey, what do you guys think about this new? What's the new weight division? The 224 division? Is it 224? What do we think about that?
Damn, what is the name of it? I pretended like it didn't even exist.
Is it actually existing now?
Bridgerweight? I don't know.
Bridgerweight.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
I think it sounds right when you said it.
Yeah, it's actually a division.
I ignored it. Like I was like, I ain't gonna. It's no point.
But then when the rankings came out, I saw some criticism of them. Like a lot of the guys that would fall in that division, they were like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm gonna stick with heavyweight.
Yeah.
So they had one guy on there, like on the top 10, I think, that hadn't fought at that qualifying weight in like 5 years or 10 years or something, and like had 7 losses. It's just that division.
Can anybody
shout out to
give me
WBC
insight?
in general, but
Yeah,
no.
can anybody give me insight on the division? Is it like 224 and up?
I think 224 is the weight limit, kind of like 147.
So between 200 and 224?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Because 224 and up is heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy because you're wild away like 215.
Yeah.
At fights.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I hate it.
We know what it's about. We ain't
Yeah.
gonna address it. We know what it's about.
Because I think it's about I think it's about making the heavyweight division, making it safer.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's about. But
yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna roll with that. I think it's a money grab.
it's 100% money grab.
You know me.
Since you want to be belittling,
You know me.
Man, Carson gonna really say it.
Nah, it's about making the fights, the sport safer.
I would like to think that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to think so, but yeah.
Give more people a chance to win a belt. Maybe that.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Got a heavy. So we had a heavyweight fight yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Anthony Joshua's back.
Mm-hmm. Did he do enough to entertain a big fight for you guys?
You know, I'm not sure what's kind of like missing from his game at this point. I thought, you know, when it was time, it was time. You know, he stepped up and delivered. You know, but I just feel like along the way there's some things missing. What about you, Carson?
I think, again, I'm the one that loves Anthony Joshua the most, apparently, on this, because we were talking about it off air. But to me,
Earl Anthony. I'll
go AJ. Yeah, I'll go AJ. No, to me, though, I think the criticism in general, and then also, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the lacking of the killer instinct since he lost to Ruiz. I actually look at that and I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think there are almost times it could help if you're not really putting your foot on the gas and putting yourself in harm's way to get big shots landed. Mm-hmm. Is that not what boxing is about? Hit, don't get hit.
Mm-hmm. Boxing is hit and don't get hit. I think when it comes to Anthony Joshua, I think people, including myself, are kind of looking at him and seeing everything that he can do, or that we want him to do, or that we expect him to do, and then he doesn't do it. For me, it's as simple as basic punch as a jab. I like to see him jab more. I like to see a faster, stronger, straighter jab. I think he paws a lot with the jab. That's English. That's what they do over there. But then there's times where he just kind of like lays it out there. He doesn't throw it out there. It's not sharp. It's not sharp. It's not strong. It's not fast. Not consistent enough for me. And that's one thing I feel is really hurting him in terms of being an entertaining fighter. The jab, not only can you hit a guy with a jab, you set things up with the jab. You get a sense of your range and your distance with the jab. And I think that he limits his offense a lot simply by not using his jab as consistently as he could. I
think people would say that maybe he uses the jab too much. I think people would say maybe he doesn't get inside and throw bigger shots. I don't know. And to me, it was almost like yesterday he fights Pulev, who I believe his only loss is Klitschko, and drops him multiple times and then stops him. Mm-hmm. And his uppercut was that is one uppercut I have no interest in anyone that I know or love getting hit with. Uh-huh. But no, I think AJ is a good combination of power and boxing ability. So I don't know. I guess the kind of trying to find flaws in his game is interesting to me. I don't think I'm not really trying to not you specifically. Yeah. But just kind of ones like, I don't know, like he's inferior. Like I'm not sure why you don't know. Like I really don't know. I mean, I don't really understand what everybody's different. So your sense of excitement for boxing could be different. I think there's people out there that just simply want to see a knockout. And if they don't see someone hitting hard and knocking other people out, then they're just going to be turned off. There's other people who just love the action. They want to see back and forth. The fight we had last night on ESPN where those guys are, just back and forth. Some people just really like that, And then some people, including myself, really appreciate the art of boxing, where I don't mind a guy like Lara or like Mayweather who can use the entire ring and make guys miss every single punch and hit a guy 4 or 5 times, 6 times around
upwards to 10 times a round and win that round and win the fight like that. I appreciate that art because I understand what all it entails in terms of being able to do that and be effective with it. So I don't really know what everyone's expecting or wanting out of Anthony Joshua. Me personally, I want more action. And I think that more jabs creates more action. And I'm gonna dive in a little deeper, and then I'm gonna let you speak, Ant. But when I say jabs, like I don't know, Carson and Ant, if you guys are aware or if you know, but there's just so many different variations of a jab that I'm talking about a more effective jab. I'm talking about a jab that has intention of hurting, intention of landing, and I don't think he throws enough jabs with that type of intention. I think he throws more jabs for finding his range and his distance or just touching a guy, and I don't think it's enough on his jab to create the kind of action that I would prefer.
Do you think too much muscle? Because I was thinking he has obviously he's a great boxer, great power, like with Wilder and Fury. Seem like they're looser. Obviously, Wilder's not a great boxer at all. He's just stopping power. But Fury's more a boxer. I feel like if he drops a little bit of muscle mass, he can be a little looser. Because the kid has great boxing form. Great, obviously the power is there.
Yeah. I think his body's changed a lot since that fight he had with Andy Ruiz, the first fight. People were saying that he was coming to the ring with too much muscle. They saying, he looked like an action figure and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that really is just a matter of the training and what they're doing. Again, if you are a coach who understands there's different variations of punches, specifically the jab, you can go from throwing a fast, quick jab in 2 or 3 rounds trying to set up a guy to then turning it over into more of a powerful, slower jab in rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, carrying on and doing whatever you need to do in terms of making adjustments with your jab. I think right now we are probably seeing just 2 variations of a jab. We're seeing a jab that's more of just a touch. Let me find you, and
kind of rangefinder.
Yeah, rangefinder. Then we're seeing him step in here and there with a stiff, strong jab. And it may not be because he's got too much muscle. It may just be those are the variations of a jab that he's been taught.
Yeah. How do you think a fight with him and Fury goes?
I think
allegedly Bob Arum said that can be done next week.
I know. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he did say that. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know. I don't know about. I'm not gonna speak on Bob. But I think Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. I think he has the boxing ability, the ring IQ. I think he has the skills to beat anybody. That includes Anthony Joshua. I think I could see him touching up Anthony Joshua for the course of 12 rounds. I don't know if Anthony Joshua is fast enough or could find that timing. And I think one thing that people overlook when it comes to boxing is you guys get they get discouraged when you can't hit somebody, when the fight's not going the way you used to it going. You get discouraged, and that begins to weigh on your mind. It begins to kind of take away of what you can do, So I kind of see that happening in the fight with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury.
But
I will say winner Wilder or Joshua. Winner against Fury.
I think Joshua would beat Wilder somewhat comfortably.
Yeah, man. Carson, 2 years ago, I will argue you downtown and back and 6 times more. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so too?
My man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I want Wilder to come back. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about Wilder, honestly.
I simply just want to see him back in the ring, man. I just want to see him back in the ring.
I think
and they said AJ might have probably has the best resume at heavyweight of those 3, of Wilder, Fury, and Joshua.
I don't know outside of
He's fought Klitschko, Parker, Dillian White.
Yeah.
So he's what about Fury?
But I was gonna say Fury's fought.
He beat Wilder 1.5 times, basically too. But.
And Klitschko.
Yeah.
He fought Klitschko too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a fight with Fury and AJ, I think would be really fun to watch. I think they're both really good boxers for being heavyweights, and both clearly have big punching power as well. So I think it would be a fun fight. I think Fury wins. I'm not sure it's as lopsided as other people might think it would be.
I just feel like Anthony Joshua's too slow for Fury.
Do you guys think it's as big as the Wilder Fury one? You think it has lost its luster? The Fury Joshua.
No, it would be huge.
Yeah, it'd be, especially over there.
Over there
would be crazy.
Over there, yeah. I don't think that does the crazy numbers here.
Maybe not, but I think typically, I guess, think of a time when two non-Americans fought and it did huge numbers elsewhere.
Yeah,
and it wasn't here.
Klitschko Fury.
Yeah. It would be massive over there, but it was actually an underrated, I think, fight weekend, because yesterday, so you had that, and then there was a Showtime card and a top rank card on ESPN, which that top rank card was awesome.
Yeah, the top rank card was awesome. Let's get to that one last. Okay. Chris Colbert did his thing on Showtime, and the other kid, Richardson Hitchinson, I really like him. I've seen him for
Hitchens. Is it Hitchens?
It's Hitchens. Yeah, Hitchens. Excuse me. Richardson Hitchens. I've seen him for a number of years now here. He's been with TMT for some time now, and
I'm not familiar with him.
I know that maybe
he was in a tough fight.
Yeah, he was in a tough fight. I've seen that guy fight before Mendez. He fought when I went down to DC. He fought Anthony Peterson to a draw. I think they fought to a draw.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think they fought to a draw down there in DC. So I was familiar with him. And it's like Richardson said after the fight, he said, man, listen, I think he ended up winning a split decision. I did not see a split decision. Do you remember the decision?
It was split decision. Honestly, I don't remember split.
Yeah, it was split. I didn't see a split decision at all. I thought he handled this Mendez kid from beginning to end, which is what he said on in his press conference, post-fight press conference. He said, man, I beat this guy every round. I handled him, and I'm just about ready for the next step. So I could see that. I think he still might be just a couple fights away. But Carson, did you watch him?
No, I didn't watch the Showtime card.
Okay.
I watched it.
He's the real deal. I mean, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, fast twitch. He can make guys miss. He can use the ring. He's very intuitive in the ring, which I really like. I like a guy who can kind of just knows what to do, knows how to move around, knows what's coming before the guy even throws a punch. Those guys that can make you miss time and time again. We'll get to Shakur Stevenson, but those guys have just this raw, innate ability to know what a guy is going to do before he does it. And I can see that in this Hitchens kid. And I really like that about him.
I actually like the rhyming name, to be honest. Maybe we should pitch that to him. Richardson Hitchinson.
I don't know what his ring name is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I like him. And then Chris Colbert. You know what? Chris Colbert, he had me a little confused last night before the knockout. I was a little confused.
I didn't catch that one.
I'm intrigued. Go ahead.
Telecast is saying that he was wanting to prove something last night. I guess he was wanting to prove that he had power, that he could fight on the inside, and that he could bang. He's calling out guys like Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, obviously Teofimo Lopez is up there as well, calling out those kind of guys. And I think at least what the telecast was kind of trying to, I guess, explain is that, he was wanting to show that, he can bang with those guys and that he can handle the heat that those guys can deliver. I just didn't think it was necessary against this kid last night from the Dominican Republic. And I thought that he stood in there, took shots that he didn't need to take. It went, I believe it went 10 rounds. And he ended up knocking him out in the 10th round. The knockout was crazy. I saw it coming. And I think that Chris Colbert he's an exciting guy, calls himself prime time, carries around that kind of mantra as well. For anybody out there that doesn't know him, shout out to Chris who put it down last night. I thought that he shows his skills every fight. I just think that in this fight, I think he pulled back on his skills, I guess trying to prove some things, but it wasn't necessary in this fight, So, but
got the win though.
But got the win, and I think
he was doing the unwritten rule of getting rounds in, possibly.
No, I don't think he was doing the unwritten rule of getting rounds. And I think the kid was strong too. The guy that he was fighting against was strong and was taking some punches. I mean, this dude was taking some punches and smiling at him. And even the knockout, Chris hit him clean, and the dude like did this move, and I thought he was on Silly Street, but the dude was basically trying to, gesture that you hit me and it didn't do nothing. And then he comes right back and cracks dude again, and then dude was on Silly Street for real, and I thought he was just playing. And a couple punches later, he was out.
The boy who cried wolf with Silly Street.
Yeah.
He gave him the fake spaghetti legs and actually got him.
But it was a good fight. It was a good outing by Chris Colbert.
Yeah.
Hey, ever since I know you guys don't watch MMA. Ever since I seen Anderson Silva, he faked the guy like he was hurt and like baited him in. I always thought if I was a boxer, I'll fake like I'm hurt, bait him in, and hit him with something.
I thought you were talking about when his leg wrapped around the other dude's leg like a slap.
No, not when it broke.
That was nasty.
No. He didn't fake that. Sean, would that work?
That would have been impressive if he faked that.
Yeah. Would that work, Sean?
People do it. That's kind of where the whole rope-a-dope? Rope-a-dope. The whole rope-a-dope game. That's kind of what that is. Is like you baiting your guy in or whatever. And I could see Chris trying to do that last night in turn. He would cover up, and then he would come with dig into the body with some good counters and into the head with some good counters. It just felt like the standing there and wearing the punches on his gloves was a bit much.
This day and age, can you ever see anybody doing the rope-a-dope?
No.
Yeah, no. That was crazy.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Yeah, it worked, and we in a different time where refs ain't gonna let that happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He took I didn't think about that.
Word of advice: anybody, if you want to do the rope-a-dope, let the ref know what your game plan is. Don't just get the read, try to do the rope-a-dope, and then look. They
do the rules breakdown beforehand, like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna get hit with a lot of shots on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, it won't work.
Hey, ESPN had the night though. ESPN had the night.
100%.
ESPN had the night.
100%. All three fights were awesome.
Mr. First Round Knockout.
He got another one.
That's his name?
The DJ Khaled. Another one.
That dude is ridiculous.
I was watching it, and obviously he's a great boxer, but that's the storyline. Like Ant said, that's your thing right now. And so I'm watching it, and I'm like, he hurts the guy almost immediately, and I'm like, he's gonna get it. And then it started to draw out a little bit, and I was like, no way, is he gonna let him out of this first round?
It's a big deal now.
Sure didn't. He sure didn't let him out.
And it's crazy because I guess he's
dude almost got there though.
Yeah, he's 5 away from getting the record of 21 knockouts.
Yeah,
in the first
21.
Round.
Yeah, they showed on the broadcast. I don't know who had it.
16.
I gave him the record a long time ago. I was like, hey,
no.
I saw they showed the record on the broadcast. And it was
Ali something has the record.
Yeah, that dude he's got bombs in both hands.
Yeah, it's time for him to go to the next level. I think up the competition. We'll see what he really got.
That dude yesterday that he fought, I think it was Ulysses Sierra, maybe. He hadn't been down, I don't believe, in his career. And he had sparred, I think they said he sparred Canelo, Andre Ward. Andre Ward predicted he would make it out of the first round.
Yeah.
And Bradley was like, nah, man. And so, yeah.
Hey, inside info. You guys probably know where I'm going with. You know where I heard this from. So somebody he fought in the past that he knocked out in the first round said, yeah, he don't even hit that hard.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
You went to sleep in the first round. But I ain't going to argue. I never been in a ring.
Yeah.
Never been in a ring.
You can't go to sleep like that and then say, oh, he don't even hit that hard.
Did he say, yeah, he's like, he didn't even knock me down. Y'all kind of know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, he put two and two together. That dude,
he throws bombs, and then the next fight, one of the more entertaining fights I've seen in a little while, Verdejo and Nakatani.
Yeah, I was watching across the restaurant, It was every time I looked up, it looked like it was a war.
Verdejo, for anyone that doesn't remember or is maybe new to boxing, he was supposed to be like these guys. He was supposed to be like Teofimo.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the prospect of the year, I think, for 17 straight years, and then has a motorcycle accident. It kind of got him off course, and then came back and wasn't really the same. And he had a chance yesterday. I thought he might get that guy out of there. And
I thought he would too.
He drops him a couple times, and he gets dropped, and it was all she wrote.
That was a heck of a fight too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought. I mean, you talk about what you do wrong to get knocked out. I mean, I don't really think there was much wrong that either guy was doing.
No,
they just, the great move by say his name, please. Verdejo, excuse me. Verdejo was slipping outside of Nakatashi's jab.
Nakatani.
You got it. And then coming over the top with the right hand. I mean, that's classic right there. And connecting it and drop
Nakatani
twice, and then
Nakatani.
He comes back and comes right back on Verdejo, and I'm like, whoa!
After Nakatani got dropped, I think it was the second time maybe. Even the commentators, they mentioned he was right back in his grill. He got right back in the pocket. Like you got seriously dropped, and then he was like, and was right there throwing, that's what you want in a fight. Both guys getting the better of each other at different times, knockdowns, a knockout, like that had it all. Verdejo was on course to maybe get a fight with Teofimo, and not so much. And Teofimo had a tough decision win over Nakatani before.
Yeah.
So.
And I was going to bring that up. Do you think Nakatani, we haven't got to the main event, Nakatani, Shakur next? Good fight?
Yeah.
It's time to take the step to the next level. You know, that's usually how they set fights up. Usually people compete on the same card the next fight.
Right.
Yeah, I like Nakatani. In fairness, the only fights I've seen were Teofimo and this one. And he's good. He's kind of rangy for that weight class, and I would like that.
I think Stevens will have a tough day, but it's time to take that step, and he's the next level.
Man, let's talk about Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, man.
This dude can box, man.
Yeah, man.
So I just want to piggyback off of what Ant just said. I don't think he has a tough time with. I wrote his name down. Nakatani. Say
it with me now.
Say it again.
Nakatani.
Is it with an N?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two N's and an E on the end.
There's no E on the end.
Yeah, ain't no E on the end.
The E is silent.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he has a tough time with Nakatani.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm here for that fight though.
I think that
sure.
Yeah. Because I could be dead wrong. Yeah. I mean, I have to imagine that Stevenson has been in the ring with guys who have that kind of length. He's been in the ring with guys who have that kind of style.
Sparred with Bud.
Yeah. I got a good feeling that it doesn't matter who it is getting in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. If it's not Tank Davis, if it's not Teofimo Lopez, if it's not Vasily Lomachenko, I don't think anybody's going to.
I think Burchell is the one that he said he wanted next.
Yeah, he did. I heard him say that. I did hear him say that.
Yeah, Stevenson, he's just the only way I can describe he's just impressive. Like I'm watching each round and I'm like, damn, that dude can just flat out box.
That jab is lethal.
Yeah.
The jab is something lethal.
And he even said, Shawn, you mentioned earlier with another fighter that you like the kind of the cerebral fighters that can adjust. And he said when talking about a lot of those guys coming up, he was like, I'm probably not the fastest, I'm probably not the strongest, but I'm the smartest of any of them.
That's what Stevenson said?
Yeah, which you can see as you watch him fight. It's the IQ. It looks like, they always say like with great athletes, it looks like it's slow motion for them. Mm-hmm. It feels like that with Stevenson. Like he's able to kind of see what's happening before it happens, see where he needs to move and fire his shots off. But that's a damn good young fighter.
And Stevens is part of that next generation, Shawn. After y'all leave,
absolutely.
The next, you think do everybody settle at 147? Is that like the goal?
I mean, I could see all of those guys eventually moving up to 147. I just think that I think the division, the 147 pound division, is such a classic division, and I think it's a division that's commanded so much money for so long. I think that a lot of guys just that's where you want to get to. Mm-hmm. For instance, Roy Jones Jr. turned pro at 168, was a super middleweight champion, but I feel like his end goal was to move all the way up to heavyweight and become a heavyweight world champion, because the heavyweight division is the iconic division in boxing. I thought you were going to say
he was trying to move to 47. I was like,
at first, Carson, I was like,
if Roy had somehow made it to 147, that would be crazy. Historic stuff there.
No, I just think that for the bigger guys, for the bigger guys, heavyweight division is the iconic division. I think for the smaller guys, when they see themselves knowing where they could potentially get to, I think they all kind of see themselves at welterweight. Yeah. I mean, and it's no secret that we all, whether you're losing 10 pounds to get to 130, you're still losing weight. If you add that 10 pounds, you're at 140. Now you're looking at eventually, okay, I can fight at 140 or 147, and then I'll be able to eat. I'll be able to get a better nutritional plan. I'll be able to pump weights, do everything I need to do. You know what I mean? So, there's always that type of mindset when you talk about a guy who has the ability to move up weight classes. It's not just them. It's not a matter of them. Can they perform at those weight classes? There's always room to improve physically when you move up.
Let me ask you this. So it goes back to one of the other cards we mentioned, but right there you were mentioning kind of whether it's growing into your body or kind of figuring out the weight. So Huey Fury, Tyson's cousin, fought on his undercard. Mm-hmm. And they kept mentioning and I think he's 26, and they kept saying, oh, when he grows into his body and like grown man strength. I'm like, he's 26. It's not like he's 22.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Am I way off on that? I don't think he's all of a sudden gonna be a huge power puncher, or his physique is gonna change drastically. I don't know.
You're not way off, but this is what we know about the heavyweight division. It's just something about it. Heavyweights bodies mature a lot later than the rest of the fighters in the world. It's like they're big. It's almost like they're big babies. You know what I mean? And they just have more room to grow, more room for their muscles, to get stronger and bigger.
Hopefully they're not doing what Big Baby does, but aside from the point,
right? I use that, but
I got you.
That really is what happens. What happens is, we say it for a long time. We've always said that heavyweights, they grow into their bodies later than the rest of us. And with that being said, we understand that, I know that I got my grown man strength at a really young age, and some of us do. Heavyweights, even though Deontay Waters was knocking people out as soon as he turned pro, he still had room to really mature and grow into the man that he is now. I mean, if you take a look at his body against Fury and compared to his body when he first turned pro, you just see two different body structures there. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes for the heavyweight division.
Yeah, Fury, he's more of a mover and more of a boxer than he is like a big power shot guy. And so they were kind of using that as, okay, he got cut early too, but they were like, maybe that's why, he hasn't been able to drop this, really bull rush this guy, and he'll grow into his power. And I wasn't sure how feasible that is. I'm 29. If I can hit like a grown man strength and a body change at 31, I'm cool. It sounds like a plan to me, but
man, listen,
I'm not sure Anthony at 34 can touch Anthony at 26.
I'm just gonna be real. I'm 5'7" on a good day, man. I finally just let go of a late growth spurt 2 years ago. So
what?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah, I said I'm 5'7" on a good day.
Oh, I thought you said you hit a growth spurt.
Nah, I was
about to say when.
I was holding on to it.
Oh, you was waiting?
I was waiting. I kept telling myself if somehow it happens, peace out to boxing. Hello NFL. I was holding on to it. Holding on to it.
What you a solid 5'8", 5'7", 5'5"?
Depends on the day and depends on who I'm around.
And the shoes.
I remember I was 5'8" in elementary school, 5th grade.
Goodness gracious. Hey, listen, man, we got a great guest today.
No doubt.
We're bringing on another coach. Coach Derrick James is going to bless us with a little bit of his time. I'm sure you guys are prepared for this. I told y'all we were going to.
Oh yeah, I dipped in my bag for him. I got some heat for him.
You want to start it? You want to be the one to, you want to.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Bridgerweight podcast. One of the best coaches out there right now, Derrick James. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing, man? Good to be here. Happy to be here.
I'm doing great, man. I didn't want to say too much until we started recording because I didn't want to have to repeat myself. But I just want to say, if you haven't already heard, I'm very, very proud of you guys and happy for you guys. Just a tremendous job y'all did in this comeback. It goes beyond the fight with Danny Garcia and it goes into the personal life and Errol Spence being able to overcome some of the challenges and obstacles he was facing just here in the last year or so. So I just wanted to commend you for that first and foremost, and your team as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Listen, man. With that being said, I don't know what these guys gonna ask you. That's my guy C Merck and Anthony, aka Domino.
It's not Domino.
I don't know what they're gonna ask you, but what I want to ask you is when everything happened. I'm just gonna ask this one question about the situation, then we'll move forward past it. But I want to know how you felt after the accident. Did you feel were you feeling like boxing was never gonna happen again for Errol?
So I'm the kind of guy, man. I want to know facts and how it actually is instead of letting my mind speculate. So fortunately, by the time I got to the hospital, talked to the police officer who was on the scene, and at the same time I talked to the doctor. And so they said that nothing was wrong, nothing was fractured, nothing was broken. So for me, I didn't even care about the whole boxing aspect of it. Didn't think about it.
Absolutely.
And my mind never got to the point to where it could even feel any heartache or grief because I knew the facts right away. Mm-hmm. So by knowing he was okay, that's all I cared about. I didn't think about boxing. But in walking out at the fights, and I walked out and I saw them people out there, man, it was kind of an emotional moment because you think about it like this. Now that was the point. So when you say that day, no, but when you get to the point where you at the fight, you walking out, and then you're like, damn, you kind of like crazy. Then I just start telling myself that this is all for you, man. It's all about this. It's all about you. So that was the point. So not necessarily when it happened, but like going out and walking out, that was kind of an emotional moment for me. I believe.
Beautiful. Hey, go ahead, fellas.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to ask you, are you at the Derrick James World Class Boxing Gym today, or are you at home?
I'm at home.
Okay. All right. I know you was hyped.
I had surgery like Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, I was about to bring that up.
But yeah, so that's why. So I ain't been to the gym, man. No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're all right. So I was just saying, I know, first off, congrats opening your gym about 2 years ago.
Thank you.
How important you feel like it is for top trainers to have their own gym instead of working under somebody else's gym with their rules? And because I realized that was your issue while you started your own.
No, that wasn't my issue. My issue was that we were at a gym and like we had been with these people for like 8 years, 9 years, whatever. So friends, like people we care about because you grow to love people, you in relationship with these people, you know these people. Yeah. But it was like the owner of the gym, after the Mikey fight, he said, well, man, listen, he wouldn't open the gym up by a particular time. He said that we're going to charge you like $25 a day to come to the gym. So if you think about it, that's $600 a week. Who pays $600 or so? I mean, a week? You know what I'm saying?
You're bringing in the top guys.
Right. Well, but it's $600 a month. I'm sorry. A month. When you think about it, every day you train, I mean, that's like crazy. So that was the point where I said, man, if I'm going to pay that, I may as well go ahead and get my own gym. But I did not want to open my own gym. And I never even envisioned having my own gym. I never envisioned it. So this was out of necessity. That's what it was. I mean, this came out of necessity because I love my other gym. I love the owners. But it was like, listen, man, I couldn't. That's what happened. But I think that it's freer and it's free. But the people in a situation where they're comfortable in, I think it's cool. I think that, it's all about environment. But at the same time, I couldn't control that environment. Not that I wanted to, But this gym, my gym, I don't let anybody in the gym. It's private. So, it's like, it's not open for financially driven purposes.
Okay.
Just for the fighters.
And I know you was hyped about getting that sauna. What have you added since that sauna? What's the new big thing in the gym?
Well, you know what? It was a piece I saw. Somebody's it's in the picture of it, but it's a piece of equipment I might get, man.
Okay,
okay. Really, I keep it like, because you don't want it to be cluttered. Yeah. You just want it to be specific. So everything we use in the gym is specific to the guys. Like, we don't have a speed bag in the gym because they don't hit the speed bag. So it's like everything we have in the gym is workable. We use it, and that's what it's all about.
Hey, man, you sound just like my dad. My dad said, did we lose him?
No. Somebody called me.
My dad did this. He would tell me all the time. He said, "I don't want my own gym. I don't need my own gym." And then same thing like you just said. When we got our gym, he says, "We're not putting up anything in here that you don't need, that you don't use." Right, he said, "Do you want a speed bag?" I said, "Yeah, go and put it." He said, "No, don't tell me. Go ahead and put it up. If I put a speed bag up, you got to hit the speed bag. I'm not going to put a speed bag up if you're not going to hit the speed bag." The same thing with the dumbbell bag. You know what I mean? So, it's a funny thing, though. A lot of people think that they think we magicians on that speed bag, and not all of us are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, now I can hit the speed bag pretty good, but I didn't put one up like that. Forget it. Because if I just put like everything in the gym is used, man. I think that's how it should be. But it's like, you see, what your father did was something that's specific to you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so why would we use a space that you're not going to even use it? It looks good. It looks like it really doesn't necessarily look good. It looks like everybody else's gym. Yeah. Yeah. Where you speed bag when we don't use it? So there we go.
Go ahead, Carson.
I would say, you're charging Shawn $600 a month if he ever comes down to Texas to train. But, so I think I'll speak for myself. I think there's no question you're the 2020 trainer of the year. How does it feel? That's kind of a consensus now. Training is not something where you get a ton of glory. How does it feel when your contemporaries or people in boxing media have you in that high standard?
Well, I think that it's great, right? Because you work and people are acknowledging your work and your success. But I think that I can't be focused on that, even though, listen, would I want to win? Yeah. And listen, it's still not set in stone that I want to win. But the thing about it is, it's like I'm like the people's champ, right? Because it's not. Last year, I had Jermell knocked out a guy, won, and like I said, Jermell knocked out a guy, and he regained his title back. Errol fought 2 Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, Mike Garcia and Shawn Porter. I say it all the time. It's like, so how do you not get that? So it's like, listen, you gotta remove yourself out of the situation. Just to listen, man. Because if I win these awards and the fighters I'm training not looking good, hey man, then it's not even worth anything. So I mean, I think that I have to be focused on my guys and get my guys better and keeping them where they are. That's what it's all about.
Do me a favor, Coach, real quick. Separate yourself from the other coaches. For me, that was one thing. I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. I never said that you were a overrated coach. I simply said that I don't know much about Derrick James as a trainer outside of him having a couple of champions. But do me a favor, kind of tell us the kind of coach that you are and what works for you in relation to your fighters, why they become so successful.
I think that, man, I have great students, man. I think that me being a fighter, me being all about technique, all about, like with Errol, I'm working nonstop on his reaction time. Both of the guys, I'm working on reaction time, trying to get them to do this, react to this or that. It's kind of like, man, I want perfection. I could call them at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Man, I had this idea, thinking about this, and so it's like, and that's how it's kind of like, I won't stop until we get it right. And the thing about it is, you got Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. They can go anywhere else. They can go leave and go where they want to go, right? And any trainer in the world they want. But what happens is, because I don't quit, I won't stop. If it's something they're not getting, like sometimes I may say something to Jermell, he doesn't get it. Okay, then now I'm going to show him how to make the motion. He's still like, okay. Then I'm like, man, well, how do I get it? Because it's not them, it's me. So it's not them it's not receiving it. It means it's not articulating it well. So I have to find a way to get it to where you understand, you see it, and then we receive it. Same thing with Errol. It's like, okay, do this, do that. And it's like, I won't quit, man. I won't stop. Not saying that the other guys do. I'm just saying that's what I do. And I always say, I never separate myself from the pack. This is what I say. I'm not better than them and they're not better than me. Because really, there's no way to truly grade that situation. It's just by the level of success we have each year. Now, for the past 4 or 5 years, I always have been the last candidate, if not, you know what I mean? So whatever that means, but I've been more consistent. But it's like, listen, man, if your guy's not winning, it doesn't even matter.
Coach,
it doesn't even matter.
Is it a competition for you as a coach just as much as it is for us as fighters? Do you look over across the ring and say, I'm out coaching you tonight? Or, at the end of the fight, you say, man, I'll coach him this time. Is it that kind of competition for you, or is it just all about your fighter and all about winning?
It's all about my guys, man. Listen, man, and all about doing the job that they asked me to do. So what happened was funny about this. Somebody asked me about that, like when we were going to fight Mike, like we got Robert Garcia on the other side. And man, he's like, what do you think about that? I'm like, and I said, I'm my greatest competition. And I'm not worried about him because I'm my greatest competition. So what happens? I trademark on my greatest competition. Bam. So and put it like this. When you said what you said about me being overrated, whatever, listen, that didn't bother me because listen, I never said I was the greatest. And at the same time, listen, so I did make some T-shirts. So
there you go.
Two times unified and scratched out and it says overrated. So there we go.
Oh, hold on, man, hold on.
But that is wait. Well, listen, Shawn. That's not a dig at you. It's just like you turn lemons into lemonade. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
It doesn't bother me. Put it like this. I had a conversation with Mike McCallum years ago. He told me about a conversation he had with Marvin Hagler. And so I took, from the conversation we had, it was like, we need each other. So listen, we're co-workers from time to time.
Absolutely.
Why would I be mad at my how does work go? How does work go when you mad at your coworker? So you can't take it personal.
You can't do it.
You couldn't make the money you make. We couldn't make the money we make if we didn't have each other.
Without each other.
So I'm gonna be like, oh man, the hell with Shawn. Well, for what? Think about it, for what? Because we're coworkers, man. You have to find out how to co-work with coworkers. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I promise I'm not mad. But I thought it was. I said, man, you see, I tried to make a T-shirt out of it, like 2 times unified. And she calls out, overrated. There we go. So like, man, hey. and that's like, look, that's not a dig. That's me just saying, hey, I'm gonna find a way to capitalize on it.
Absolutely. I gotta appreciate that. And you got one more for me?
Yeah, hey, Coach. So we know. First off, if you don't get trainer of the year, it's BS. I'm gonna say that first. You heard it here first.
Is what it is.
Hey, you got 2 unified champions. If you don't get trainer of the year, that's BS.
Mm-hmm.
Second is, I know you might not even tell me. Who's the next Spence or Charlo that's going to be unified in that gym? I know you got somebody else. I know you do.
Well, we only train 3 guys, right?
Okay.
So it's like, because what I do is that I could believe I'm Jesus to boxing and get 20 guys and try to get all the money I can get, or I can be focused on the guys that I committed to when I first started, Errol Spence, and who came, Jermell came after that, then my young guy brother came after that. So I think that you just have to be like, man, my thing is like, think about this. You can't even know these guys if you have all these fighters. And I'm not dissing nobody for doing it, because you get it how you live. Whatever it is, they're going to get it. But I'm like, my thing is I'm more of an individual guy. So I want to know how these guys are. I want to know mentally how they are, emotionally how they are. I mean, be able to do that and connect with them that way, opposed to then they don't talk to them no more.
Mm-hmm.
So like me, so it's like I have real relationships outside of being boxers, being in the ring and in the gym. So that's really what matters the most to me.
And I know, I was sorry to cut you off, Coach. I was going to say, we even mentioned that, talking about Errol coming back, because you're not family, but we're like, there's no way Derrick James is letting Errol anywhere near the ring if he's not physically good to go. So it does seem like it's a family environment. How excited, kind of, it will say extended family, how excited are you just for Errol and for Charlo going forward? Unified champs, a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon.
I think that, man, it's like we talk. Like if you think we had conversations years ago about situations like this, and it's like to see it come to fruition and to see it be real is like crazy, you know what I mean? Because just like you can imagine, Shawn, you with your father, y'all going to amateur boxing tournaments and never knowing, you always were the smaller, shorter guy, but never knowing you get, you're going to become a world champ, even though everybody wants that, but to be able to do it, and to be able to be consistent. Because listen, man, this is what I'll say. I grew up, I'm from Dallas, and I used to be in the gym with Charles Hadley now. So I remember when he went to Colorado and, he got his nose broke by, y'all was sparring or whatever. But it was like I remember. So I used to be with them. And so that was before Errol's father asked me to start training maybe like a year later. Because Errol got third in 2008, I believe, or 9 or something. Then after that, I started working with him after that, 2009, late 2009. But in reality, like, Charles Hadley was the guy. Like, then even like, especially in Dallas, like, you think about, so nobody could say that he wasn't going to be world champ. Errol Spence would have been. So it's like, you just never know how life works out, man. You just never know.
It's crazy, man. I fought Charles Hadley. We were like 90 pounds, 100 pounds, something crazy like that. That's how far we all go back with one another. And Coach, like, I gotta tell you, man, I appreciate you coming on our show today, and giving us a little bit of insight of your gym, of who you are as a coach and as a person. I think it's very valuable when you have a coach that you can look at and trust that coach, almost like a dad or almost like a big brother, almost like, a really close cousin, so I really do admire that in you and listening to you right now. And I just want to tell you that we appreciate you coming on our show today.
Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely.
Man. No doubt, man.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask, what do you expect Errol to do moving forward, or when do you expect him to kind of, start making his decision or his move? I mean, there's no secret. I don't have him on right now because number one, people would expect us to be starting to make a fight happen. That ain't gonna happen. Number two, I wanted to have you on because I think that you are an extension of him and what he does in the ring. And the third thing, he probably on vacation or he probably riding some horses.
He's on vacation. He has been running, but he's on vacation.
So I know that that's not on his mind right now, but I just wanted to know when do you think he's going to start wanting to, get back in the ring and get back to, making a business move for boxing?
Well, I think that he may start back in like the next, I think he may, when he comes back, he might go back to the gym, but I'm kind of still off because I had surgery or whatever, my stomach. Okay. But it's like, you never know, man. Like I always say that this is how it makes it easy for me is that I never interject my personal feelings into it. So I want whoever he wants. So I don't say, I want that guy. I'm like, that's too much. It's too much. Because then I'm not me. I'm somebody else. Yeah. So I just play off what they go and I just get them ready. So it's not like I don't put myself into it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's how I can't take it personal. Like, whoever you choose, we're going to get ready for it. That's going to be it. I mean, really, that's what it is. I mean, ain't no, I want you to fight this guy. No, man, come on. But, when we were talking, I was like, and I just talked to people about it. I said, if you think about it like this, and they said, why don't you act a certain way? I said, because I said, if you could imagine that what my ancestors went through, what our ancestors went through, for us to get to this point, to be on the center stage in the world and to be at the ass. Yeah. So you think about, they just, all they could offer us was just to survive, just to survive. Yeah. So what you're saying is, they did that, took all the abuse, all the pain, all the rape, all the torture, and this is what we're going to do with it. To get to this point,
Yeah.
And this is what we're gonna do with it. So it's like, no, man. So it's more. My kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids, like Papa Derrick. He was something else because like everything's gonna be videoed. You gonna be able to go back and his body. So it's like, yeah, man, you just gotta just watch who you are because people are watching, and or you have to hold yourself to a higher standard because of what people did for you to get to this point. Yeah. And all they could offer was survival.
Yeah.
Because one of them would have died, I wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
One of them would have, I mean, they wouldn't, I mean, so you see, so when you look at it, everything is about perspective, not about, no, man, you gotta take it and listen, man, we're at a level where we are creating memories.
Absolutely.
For fathers and sons and daughters.
Absolutely.
So when they sit down as a family and watch you and Errol, all these other fights, 20 years from now, I sat down and watched Shawn Porter fight my dad.
Yeah.
So, and with that being said, who do you want to be when you're in front of the mic, in front of the television camera? Mm-hmm. You want to be a villain, or you want to be somebody who can be respectful? We respect them. Because grandkids don't see it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, who do you want to be? And that's the reality of it all, man.
Listen,
they did
Coach,
too much for me than for me to be ass.
I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Especially, I forgot that you did have that surgery. Rest up and heal up, and I'll be praying for you. Thank you.
Hold on, Sean. I can't let Coach go yet. Coach, you think you was gonna get away from here?
I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay.
Hey, no. Hey, man, you know they said all the old guys coming back. You was 21-7. Will you get back in the ring for $2 million? We can get you in there with Tyson for $2 million. What you thinking?
Listen, man, not even like this. I think that it was in the original conception of the idea was great, right? Yeah. I think that, and what the funniest thing about it was the purest, realest thing you could ever see because they never said they were going to be. Everybody started thinking about this nostalgic moment when Mike was 21 and Roy was 21, not Mike at 54 and Roy at 51. And so what happened was the reality was that was everybody else's mind racing, not theirs. They're like, I'm Mike, I'm 54, I'm Roy. And so what we saw was a 51 to 54-year-old fighter, and this 48-year-old guy is not getting in the ring. For what?
Oh, okay. No. So you ain't coming back.
I give instruction. I'm whispering in the ear behind him.
I love it.
No, I'm not getting in there, man. No.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, Coach. I appreciate it.
Congrats. And early congrats on 2020 Coach of the Year, Trainer of the Year.
Hey, man.
Because we're not hearing anything else.
Wait. You keep saying that, right? Yeah. And I'll see it all over the place. But I think that, would I be happy? Yeah. But if I don't get it, I'll be like, man, who else would deserve it? But who knows, man?
Another T-shirt. Make another T-shirt if you don't get it.
Yeah. That's right. There's always somebody.
Yeah.
There's like the WBC last year, right? So the WBC, they had these trainers of the year, right? And then it was like 4 or 5 guys. They didn't even put my name on the list. I'm the only guy with I had 2 WBC champs. It was kind of like, hey, man, listen, man. So see, this is why I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm easily forgotten because I'm not
loud,
stereotypical, and I'm not loud. I'm not obnoxious. So it's easy to say he's a nice guy. He'll get it. And so that's really what it was. Because if I was like a certain particular way, they would always have to look my direction.
Yeah,
I can see that. Because I don't act like that.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. There's one thing my grandma told me. You're not as good as they say you are. You're not as bad as they say you are.
Right, you're right about that. You just gotta listen. You can't let them. Because I DM Danny Garcia like a couple days ago, and I just told him, listen, man, you're a hell of a fighter, and don't let anything that anybody say make you feel any different. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's for real because people talk, people say what they feel about the situation, but they weren't in the ring. You know what I mean? And that's the reality of it all. So I think that you gotta just kind of like. Hey man, you're not, like you said, you're not as bad as everybody say you are.
Listen, man, we appreciate you, Coach. You take care, all right?
Yeah. No doubt. Good day, bro.
Heal up. Yeah. Coach came on and spit some real. Yeah. We got some wisdom. We got some knowledge.
Yeah.
I got
some OG talk.
Got a shirt. Got more respect for the man. Now just being able to have a real conversation with him a little more lengthier than just the, oh hey, how you doing that we normally get into when we see each other. But yeah, man, that is the 2020. Yeah, that's the 2020 Coach of the Year right there.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
For so many reasons, you know what I mean? And I mean, if you didn't hear it, you didn't see it. This dude he's more than just boxing, and that's what the sport is about. Anybody who loves the sport of boxing, you don't love it just because you're watching people get knocked out, watching people bleed. There's just something different that resonates with you time out and time out when you see guys get in the ring, whether you're close to those guys or you're just watching them fight for the first time, watching the guy fight for the first time. And Coach is he's one of those real ones that is not going to let you shortchange him, and he ain't going to let you shortchange yourself. And I think that is why he has become as successful as a coach as he has become. Yeah. And I'm very proud to have him on the show right now.
Yeah, and definitely not somebody that he mentioned it, and we can all kind of confirm that he's not about himself. He has 2 unified champs, but he, like you said, are you competing with the other guy? He's like, no, my guy's not winning. Who cares? Like, nobody's gonna be like, oh, Derrick James did a good job in a losing effort.
Yeah,
he's all about his guys getting better and being the best they can be.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you this, Shawn. We gotta stop having your potential opponents and people on. Now I think the dude cool. Now I gotta show respect to him because when you fight, I'm coming at people next. Yeah. He don't know me and him got an argument before, but now I got respect for the guy. It has to be different.
Yeah. All right, I'll slow up on that. Yeah, no,
we're good.
But no, same here. Same here because, like I said, I've never really had a genuine conversation with him, not more than 5 minutes, and it's just the typical, boxing. How you doing? Where you guys going? That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So
I think you guys needed that. Besides all the BS that the other YouTube channels make, like spreading rumors. Like, come on.
That's
where did it say that at? We've never found that.
But that's
Carson,
why.
Did you ever find it?
No.
That's why
there was no there.
That's why we started
Detox.
The Porterweight podcast because you're not gonna get here. You're not gonna get animosity. You're not gonna get drama. You're not gonna get
real.
You're not gonna get BS. You know what I mean?
Muted my mic last week.
Yeah.
Because you started going into some BS that don't belong on the Porterweight podcast.
It's no bias. We go at Shawn. Yeah. It's nothing. We keep it real.
And I got so much more from Coach than I expected to get from Coach Derrick James. Yeah. I just wanted to come on. I wanted to see how did you feel about everything going on with Errol? And hey, how are things gonna be moving forward? And I mean, I got so much more than that. I got life lessons for myself. Another part of my podcast is being able to motivate and inspire people. And when I can bring on a guest to do that, and it's not just on me, boom, the job has been done. You know what I mean? So
no doubt.
Appreciate him coming on today.
No doubt.
And should we close here?
Yeah, we got 2 big fights coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Well, 1.5 big fights.
How can you get
back to? I don't know. Half is Triple G. Triple G fights on Friday.
We're gonna let Carson take this.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that.
I can't. Why not?
I mean, you can say it. I can't.
I think I don't. It's not like I don't respect the guy he's fighting. I'm just not familiar with him, and I don't think anyone's like. Have you heard people like, oh man, I can't wait to see Triple G fight this guy? So I mean, that's where I'm coming from on that. But
Carson, last time I said that, Julian Williams got knocked out. Shawn, you remember that day?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Which one? I don't want to say which time the Jarrett gets stopped, but
Rosario.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm paying you wild.
Because he always looking for the bets. Hey man, what he gonna do?
I remember that.
Yeah. Hey.
But no, it's interesting to see Triple G's at kind of an interesting spot. He was like appointment viewing for a hot minute there. Like even when he was fighting guys that maybe you didn't think like were the elite of the elite, you watched because Triple G was like a mythical figure. And then last few years is kind of tapered off a little bit. So it's still good to get him back in the ring. And then the next night, Canelo, and what people are considering to be a really tough test for Canelo.
Gets him out.
Who is it? It's
over by 8.
Callum Smith.
How many rounds you give him?
And you say 8 rounds?
8 rounds max. What you got, Carson?
I don't know, man.
Carson, don't show me, Carson.
No. Let me preface. I typically would agree with you. I would say like probably the 6 to 8 range, but people have gassed it up so much, and people that don't typically that don't have a motive to gas it up are saying like, I don't know, Callum Smith might be able to get him. I don't think so, but I'm very intrigued to see maybe what they see in Callum Smith, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a fight. Y'all know me. I ain't about predictions, but I think this is a fight you just kind of want to sit back and see how Canelo performs, especially off of the layoff that he's been on, kind of reintroducing himself to the 168-pound division, and then see what happens. I just think that Canelo is a dynamite fighter. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world. And I find that I just have a hard time seeing anyone be able to control him for the course of 12 rounds, especially if you're not someone who can really move and has a lot of speed and boxing ability and can sustain that for the duration of an entire fight. That's what you need against Canelo. I just don't see. There's really you have to beat Canelo from the outside. Nobody's going to get him on the inside. Triple G, I don't even think has come close to beating him on the inside, but people who have scored one, if not both of those fights, a draw or possibly for Triple G, they saw Triple G being able to hustle and beat him to the punch on the inside. I just think that when Canelo's on his game and he's not allowing you to do the things that you want to do, he's going to be very hard to beat, especially on the inside where I think most guys can only fight him at. There's a select few. Caleb Plant is the number one who sticks out in my mind now that can box Canelo from the outside. But the big question with even Caleb Plant is, can you sustain that and be consistent and do it over the course of 12 rounds?
And stand up to the power.
Up to the power.
Take some shots.
Make him miss and make him pay. That's the name of the game. And I think especially for Canelo, you have to be a wizard at making him miss and making him pay. With that being said, this is the Porterweight Podcast. Enjoy this episode. Enjoy Derrick James. Listen to his wisdom and his knowledge. We appreciate him for coming on.
The Browns will have already won by this point.
There you go.
You'll be hearing this on Tuesday. Browns won last night on Monday Night Football.
Hey, we'll
this was recorded on Sunday, so if I'm wrong, I never said that.
We got a big one against the Ravens, too. They bumped us from Sunday Night Football to now Monday Night Football.
Well, no, they bumped us next week from Sunday afternoon to Sunday night.
You're right. Yeah.
But this is a get back game because we got smoked in week 1.
Absolutely.
So,
if we get this one back, we definitely in the playoffs. So
yeah,
I like that.
They won last night convincingly.
I wanted to shout out your LSU Tigers though.
Hey, that's what we do, baby.
Hey,
LSU.
They showed up.
LSU.
It got kind of foggy. I think that helped.
I ain't gonna lie. What you say?
It got kind of foggy out there. I think that helped.
Nah, forget that. I ain't gonna lie. I bet on Florida. Then once we couldn't win, I said, "Let's go, baby." I'm from Louisiana. Okay?
Shout out to Columbus Crew won MLS Cup too.
What the heck are you talking about?
Hey, I'm talking about winning an entire league, not winning a regular season game.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, y'all. This is the Porterweight Podcast. Have a fantastic day. Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday. Something new for you right here on the Porterweight Podcast.